Have you ever been challenged with your emotions? Have you ever been at a point, a breaking point, where it's that you know you want to cry, but in the back of your mind, you heard somewhere tells you, no, you can't cry because you're a man. You have to be strong. You can't let your family see you crying. Well, I beg to differ. That is not true, brothers. If you want to cry, you can go ahead on and cry. If you want to allow yourself to be vulnerable, go ahead on and allow yourself to be vulnerable, as long as you do it in a safe place. Take a listen, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Lionel Nelson here, and welcome to A Father's Note, promoting fathers through building men.
Man, that's a lot to unpack. It's a lot of information that, to be honest with you, is definitely kind of hitting me left and right at this very moment. Because I'm 2 years married and a month in having a son, and these are all things that are definitely, I guess, really showing themselves to me like in 3D every day. I'm trying to figure out how to just make sure I'm not too caught up in trying to go get it, like you said, that I'm totally neglecting spending time with my family, and but to get to the actual subject, the main thing I would say was really impactful for me last year was definitely, I would even say, the pregnancy of my wife, not just the birth of my son. My wife was initially pregnant with twins, and unfortunately we lost one of the babies at 6 months. So it was it was such a moment for me that I had to I really had to see myself. I was either gonna allow myself to become strong man Dave and like I'm all right, or really allow myself to really be vulnerable in this moment. And what it ended up doing was it helped my wife to get through that moment. Her seeing my vulnerability helped her get through the whole situation. And it was such a profound moment for me because I'm like, man, most of the times we're the ones that got to hold everybody up. But there were a lot of moments where I broke. I just broke, like I couldn't.
Yes.
But in that, the look that she would give me was just like hope, and I'm looking at her, I'm like, you going through this. She had to carry the baby the whole term. So it was just, I'm like, man, you experiencing this whole thing. But like I said, the moment of really allowing myself to feel and be vulnerable was just something that was definitely powerful for me. So it taught me that it's important to, as well as providing, being there for your family, it's also important that you can be vulnerable with your family as well. You have to allow them to see you feel, and understand, because to me, when they're allowed to see you feel, they can embrace their feelings, and we all can deal with it together. So that was one very pivotal moment for me last year. And of course, like I said, the birth of my son, because I don't even know what sleep means anymore.
My oldest son, I had asked him to be on here tonight, but because he's going through something right now, and on his side of the family, he's the only child. As far as his mother's side, he's the only child, and he's dealing with extended family, senior parents. And what he's his mother just passed last year, and just like the same, like with you, Aaron, he's trying to balance all of these things, and to the point where David said, you want to be strong. You're trying to be strong for everybody. You don't want to. You're the man. You want to carry it. You want to carry the family. You want to carry what the children are going through. You want to carry what the grandparents are going through. You want to carry what your wife. And then here it is, you're trying to find yourself. But then though, I told him, I said, listen, man, you need to be honest with yourself. Be honest with how you feel. Man, don't be afraid to let your son see you cry.
And that you said something very vital. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not realize how important, and people always say that grieving process is different for everybody, and it really is. Some people, they keep themselves busy just to avoid the narrative of what they really need to deal with. And I found myself, as it gotten worse, between the relationship and things at the church it was spilling into things at the church. I found myself in saying, you know what, no matter what, Aaron, at all costs, you got to take care of you. And I forcefully had to start taking time away from things that I would get so bombarded with and just take time for me. Because at that time, nobody was there for me when I'm breaking down, you know what I'm saying, grieving and upset and angry and mad. Nobody was there. But if you don't have, like we talked about earlier, having that outlet to, you know, men who have gone through that and you've heard them vocally verbalize what you dealing with, you don't, if I didn't have it, I didn't have it. Now I'm making sure that I say what I need to say all the time so that if any man ever comes across me, they know what they have.
So I think it's important to know, to let all the men know that they got a safe place where they can come and cry.
Come on. You got to have it.
For sure. For sure.
And it don't make you no punk either.
No. I think it's imperative also, even just when it pertains to God. And we have to understand one thing that God really revealed to me, especially, you know, after the loss of my other baby, was that I really had to understand what it meant when the Bible says that his strength is perfect in our weakness.
There we go.
Like we can't allow ourselves to be, you know, strong men and say, all right, God, you know, make sure you take care of that. He has to meet us where we are. You got to be weak. You got to be vulnerable for him to really reveal himself, for him to be your strength. So a lot of times we think that because we're men, we got to make sure we, you know, whatever. And it's just like, that's contrary to what God is saying. Like, if he's the strength, if he's your perfect strength in your weakness, and you trying to act like you ain't weak, what do you need God for?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's imperative that, you know, we allow ourselves to be vulnerable. Like you said, let our families, you know, see us in certain moments. It's not to say that we're weak. To me, if anything, it shows that we're strong, that we're allowing them to see us, you know, in our most vulnerable state. That was something that God was just like, it was powerful. He's like, how am I supposed to be your strength if you gonna act like you strong?
Right.
Yeah. How am I supposed to be your perfect strength if you're not showing me your weakness? You know, so that's definitely something we got to pay attention to. We got to make sure that we got to let God be God, you know, when we don't know what else to do.